Money is not just paper, nor is it simply a coin. It is energy. It is the visible expression of the invisible supply that flows through the universe. When you hold money in your hand, you are holding a symbol of abundance, a token of the infinite riches that belong to you by divine right. Too often, people hold money with fear. They look at it with worry. Will this be enough? Will more come? What if it leaves me? And that fear sends a signal to the universe. Lack, limitation, and doubt. But when you hold money with love and confidence, something miraculous happens. You change its vibration. You magnetize it to return to you multiplied. Money responds to the energy of your thoughts. If you believe it is scarce, it runs from you. If you believe it is plentiful, it rushes toward you. The truth is, supply is unlimited. The rivers of wealth never stop flowing, but we block them with fear, resentment, and disbelief. So the next time you hold money in your hand, pause. Look at it with appreciation, not desperation. Say to it, "You are a symbol of abundance. You come to me easily and frequently. You multiply in my hands, in my mind, and in my life. Infinite supply flows to me now." Speak these words with conviction, with joy, and with certainty. Feel the energy of increase as you say them. Because words are not empty, they are creative power. Every declaration plants a seed in the invisible, and what is planted must grow. The more you bless what you have, the more it blesses you in return. To curse money, to fear it, to speak of its absence, is to push it away. To bless money, to affirm its abundance, to declare its multiplication, is to draw it closer. Remember this: you are not chasing money. Money is chasing you. You are not begging for supply. You are commanding it with your words, your faith, and your vibration. Hold money in your hands today and speak life into it. See it multiply. Imagine doors of opportunity opening. Imagine unexpected channels bringing you more. Believe that money loves you, that it flows freely, and that it is endless in its supply. When you shift your words, you shift your world. When you bless money, money blesses you. And when you hold it with love, gratitude, and faith, truly it will multiply. Money is energy. This truth, once fully understood, transforms the way you see wealth, prosperity, and abundance. Money is not just paper, not just numbers on a screen, not just coins in your pocket. It is a current, a vibration, a flow of universal supply made visible. Just as electricity runs unseen yet lights up the world, money is an invisible power that takes form through the channels we allow. When you realize that money is energy, you stop chasing it as though it were something outside of you, and you begin to align yourself with it as something already connected to you, already flowing through you. Many people hold money with fear. They clutch it tightly, thinking it may be the last they will ever have. They worry, what if more doesn't come? What if this is all there is? That fear turns money into a heavy burden, something that slips away the moment it is received. Fear makes money shrink. But gratitude, love, and confidence make money expand. When you hold money with joy, when you bless it and give thanks for it, when you recognize it as a token of infinite abundance, it cannot help but return to you multiplied. Money responds to your vibration. If you see it as scarce, it mirrors scarcity back to you. If you see it as plentiful, it floods into your life through doors you didn't even know existed. Imagine standing by the shore of an endless ocean. That ocean represents the supply of wealth available to you. You can choose to dip your hand into it with fear and gather only a drop, or you can step boldly into it, knowing it can never run dry, and claim as much as you are willing to receive. The supply does not shrink because you take from it, it is infinite. What limits the flow is not the ocean itself, but your belief about what you can have. Money does not come from one source alone. It is not bound to your paycheck, your business, or your job. Those are channels, not sources. The source is infinite energy, always present, always ready to flow into form. When one channel closes, another opens. When you release fear and declare that supply is limitless, money appears in ways you least expect. Through new opportunities, unexpected blessings, creative ideas, and divine timing. This is why it is essential to never cling to the visible form, but to trust in the invisible supply behind it. Every word you speak about money carries power. Words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. If you say, "I never have enough," you are planting lack. If you say, "Money always flows to me," you are planting abundance. And what is planted must grow. The law of life is increase, and your words set the direction of that increase. To curse money, to complain about its absence, is to push it away. To bless money, to appreciate it, to affirm its constant multiplication, is to draw it closer. When you hold money in your hand, you are holding a mirror of your own consciousness. If you look at it with doubt, you see lack. If you look at it with love, you see supply. Try this simple act: hold a bill, even the smallest one, and instead of saying, "This isn't enough," say, "You are a symbol of infinite abundance. You multiply in my hands. You grow and expand. You return to me in greater measure." That shift of perception transforms the vibration of money in your life. Suddenly, you are no longer begging money to stay. You are commanding it to increase. The universe is generous, but it listens to your vibration. If you radiate fear, you attract lack. If you radiate confidence, you attract abundance. This is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual law. Like attracts like. Money is drawn to certainty. It flows toward the one who knows it belongs to them, who blesses it, who uses it wisely and lovingly. Money shies away from resentment, fear, and doubt. That is why some people work endlessly and yet feel broke, while others seem to attract wealth with ease. It is not the amount of work alone but the vibration behind the work that determines the flow. Think of money as a guest. If you invite a guest into your home with warmth, joy, and gratitude, they feel welcome and return again. If you greet them with suspicion, anger, or fear, they leave and do not come back. Money is the same. If you welcome it, bless it, and treat it with respect, it will feel at home with you. If you despise it or fear it, it will slip away. Your attitude decides whether money feels invited or rejected. Many people carry guilt about money. They think wealth is wrong, selfish, or unattainable. But this guilt creates inner resistance. The truth is, money is good when placed in good hands. Money amplifies the heart that holds it. In the hands of the generous, it feeds, heals, builds, and blesses. In the hands of the fearful, it shrinks. To declare that money is energy is to understand that it is neither good nor bad. It simply flows in harmony with the spirit of the one who holds it. Money loves circulation. Just as blood must circulate in the body for health, money must circulate in life for prosperity. Hoarding with fear creates stagnation. Giving with faith creates multiplication. When you release money with joy, whether in paying bills, buying goods, or blessing others, you signal to the universe that you trust the flow. What you give out returns multiplied. Every dollar you spend with love plants a seed for increase. Every bill you pay with gratitude is an affirmation that more is coming. Do not look at money as lost when it leaves your hand. Look at it as a seed planted in fertile soil, destined to return in multiplied form. Bless the hands it goes to, for in blessing others, you bless yourself. A fearful person says, "This money is gone." A wise person says, "This money returns to me multiplied." And so it is. Visualization is a powerful tool to align with the energy of money. When you hold money, close your eyes and imagine it doubling, tripling, overflowing. See it multiplying in your wallet, in your bank, in your hands. Feel the joy of increase as though it has already happened. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It acts upon the belief you impress upon it. As you visualize increase, you magnetize the conditions for increase. Abundance begins within. You cannot hold feelings of lack and expect wealth to flow. You cannot speak words of poverty and expect prosperity to appear. You must first change the inner picture. See yourself as prosperous. Speak as though you are abundant. Act as though supply is endless. In doing so, you align your vibration with the truth that money is energy and that energy responds to faith. Remember that you are not chasing money. Money is chasing you. You are not begging for supply. You are commanding it by the power of your thought, your word, and your faith. When you declare, "Money loves me," money multiplies for me, money flows freely to me, you are not simply making empty statements. You are aligning with universal law, and universal law cannot fail. Do not measure your wealth by what you see today. What you see is only the harvest of your past thoughts and words. Your future wealth is being created now, in the invisible, by the thoughts you are thinking, the words you are speaking, and the vibrations you are sending out. Every blessing you declare plants a harvest for tomorrow. Every curse delays it. Choose wisely, for your words are living seeds. Even a small amount of money, when blessed, can multiply into great abundance. Do not despise small beginnings. The seed of an oak tree is tiny, yet it contains within it a forest. When you bless the little grows. When you curse the little, it shrinks. If you look at $1 and say, "This is not enough," you cut off its power to multiply. But if you look at it and say, "This is the seed of abundance," and it grows, you release it to expand. Faith is the soil in which money multiplies. Without faith, your words are empty. With faith, your words are power. Speak to your money as though you believe in its increase. Bless it as though you already see it multiplying. Give thanks as though the harvest has already come. This faith activates the law of supply and the unseen becomes seen. Money is energy and energy cannot be destroyed. It only changes form. When one channel of money closes, another opens. When one door seems shut, another door appears. This is why you need never fear loss. What appears gone is simply moving to return in another form, often greater than before. Loss is not the end but the preparation for increase. Hold this truth, and fear will vanish. As you continue to bless money, affirm its abundance, and trust its flow, you will notice changes. Opportunities will arise where none existed before. Unexpected income will appear. People and resources will come into your path to guide and support you. These are not coincidences, they are the result of your alignment with the energy of money. What you believe, you attract. What you bless, you multiply. So hold money with love. Bless it with your words. Speak life into it. Declare that it multiplies in your hands. Imagine its increase. Trust its flow. Release fear, embrace faith, and know with certainty that supply is infinite. Money is not your master, it is your servant. It is not your struggle, it is your symbol of abundance. It is not scarce, it is energy, endless, flowing, multiplying energy that responds to your vibration. When you change your relationship with money, you change your reality. See it as energy, bless it as abundance, and it will multiply. Truly, money is energy, and when you honor that truth, you open the door to a life of limitless prosperity. Your thoughts affect money. This truth is simple, yet it holds the power to completely transform your financial life. Everything begins in the invisible realm before it becomes visible. Every coin you spend, every bill you touch, every opportunity that comes your way first existed as a thought. Yours or someone else's. The invisible world of thought is where money is either attracted to you or repelled from you. Most people believe money is only the result of hard work, effort, or chance. They think it depends on an economy, a job, or another person. But the deepest reality is this: money responds to thought. Money carries energy, and it moves toward the energy that matches it. When your mind is filled with fear, worry, and doubt about supply, you send out vibrations that block the flow of wealth. But when your mind is filled with gratitude, faith, and expectancy, you open the channels of abundance, and money finds its way into your life through channels seen and unseen. Think of a magnet. A magnet does not chase iron filings, nor does it beg for them. It simply rests in its nature, and by the law of attraction, the filings move toward it. You are that magnet. Your thoughts are the magnetic field. If your thoughts are small, filled with fear, then your magnetic field is weak, and only scraps of supply find their way to you. But if your thoughts are great, filled with certainty, joy, and confidence, your magnetic field expands, and money, opportunities, and provision rush to you as if by command. Your thoughts are not silent. They are living things, vibrating through the universe, calling back to you whatever you hold in mind most strongly. If you think of lack, lack returns. If you think of abundance, abundance comes forth. Look at how people treat money in daily life. Some grasp it tightly, afraid it will vanish. Some despise it, calling it evil, all while secretly longing for it. Some spend it with guilt, feeling unworthy of enjoyment. Others hoard it with fear, believing they must save every penny against disaster. But each of these attitudes springs from thought, and each of them creates the very condition it fears. To despise money is to push it away. To fear money is to create shortage. To feel unworthy is to cut yourself off from increase. Only those who bless money, who think of it as a friend, as a flowing river that replenishes itself, discover the truth that it responds to their inner state. The moment you shift your thought, you shift your financial condition. A person who has lived in scarcity for years may suddenly awaken to the power of their mind, and with a new thought of abundance, doors begin to open that were once closed. Unexpected income appears. Opportunities arrive unasked for. Debts dissolve, and freedom replaces fear. Why? Because the law is unchanging. Your thoughts affect money. Your thoughts build your world. The outer is always a reflection of the inner. If you want more money, you must first change the way you think about money. Consider this: money is not shy. Money is not cruel. Money is not selective. Money flows to the place where it is welcomed, loved, and respected. If you think of money as your friend, it will stay with you. If you think of it as a fleeting stranger, it will come and go quickly. If you think of it as something scarce, you will always find it scarce. But if you think of it as something abundant, it will appear in abundance. Your words matter, for words are crystallized thought. When you say, "I never have enough money," you command the universe to fulfill that thought. When you say, "Money comes to me easily and often," you open the way for that very experience. Money listens to the voice of your mind and returns to you the echo of your beliefs. Think of two people with the same income. One always feels poor, always complains, always fears the next bill. The other feels rich, grateful for what he has, certain more is coming, and spends with joy. The first lives in shortage no matter how much he earns. The second lives in overflow no matter how little he starts with. Why? Because their thoughts create their experience of money. Wealth is not first measured in numbers, it is measured in thought. The one who believes in increase attracts increase. The one who believes in shortage attracts shortage. The difference is not the size of the paycheck but the size of the thought. Let us go deeper. Thought not only affects how you feel about money, it affects how money moves toward you in the real world. A fearful mind hesitates, doubts, and misses opportunities. A confident mind sees possibilities, acts boldly, and receives rewards. A mind of lack clings to what little it has, while a mind of abundance gives, invests, and multiplies. Opportunities come to all people, but only those whose thoughts are trained to see abundance recognize and seize them. Two people may walk past the same opportunity, one sees nothing, the other sees a door to wealth. The difference is thought. One was blind by fear, the other awake with faith. Your thoughts affect not only your feelings but your actions, and your actions shape your financial reality. This is why it is vital to train your mind to think abundance at all times. Begin with gratitude. Each time you receive money, bless it. Hold it in your hand and say, "You are a symbol of the infinite supply. You bless me, and you multiply as you go forth." Speak with conviction, for your words carry power. Each time you spend money, do not think of loss. Think of circulation. Say, "As I release this money, it returns to me multiplied, from sources seen and unseen." This shifts the vibration of your thought, and soon you notice that what you give returns to you increased. Gratitude and blessing raise your vibration, and money responds to high vibrations. Never curse money, never despise it, and never fear it. To curse it is to shut the door to increase. To despise it is to invite poverty. To fear it is to draw to yourself the very shortage you dread. Instead, speak only words of blessing. Say, "Money is good. Money is useful. Money is a blessing that flows freely in my life." The more you affirm this, the more you align with the truth that supply is unlimited and always flowing. Your thoughts build a magnetic field, and money is drawn to that field as surely as iron filings to a magnet. This is not imagination, this is law. The law responds to belief, and belief is nothing more than sustained thought charged with emotion. Ask yourself, what do I really believe about money? Do I believe it is hard to get? Do I believe it is fleeting? Do I believe I am unworthy of it? Or do I believe it comes easily, that it flows freely, that I am worthy of increase? Whatever you truly believe is what you will experience, for the universe cannot give you what you do not expect. If you expect shortage, shortage comes. If you expect abundance, abundance arrives. To change your finances, you must change your expectations, and to change your expectations, you must change your thoughts. This transformation begins quietly. It begins when you replace fear with faith, doubt with confidence, worry with gratitude. It begins when you catch yourself speaking of lack and replace it with words of plenty. It begins when you hold money in your hand and instead of saying, "This isn't enough," you declare, "This multiplies. This increases." This is the seed of greater supply. Soon your subconscious mind accepts the new thought, and your outer world begins to change. What seemed impossible begins to happen naturally. Money appears in unexpected ways. Opportunities knock without effort. Solutions to financial problems show up almost magically. Yet it is not magic, it is law, for your thoughts affect money. Guard your thoughts carefully. Do not indulge in complaining about money, for complaint attracts more reasons to complain. Do not indulge in fear, for fear attracts the very shortage you dread. Instead, practice constant thanksgiving. Rehearse prosperity in your mind. Imagine yourself already supplied, already free, already abundant. Speak as though you are wealthy, think as though you are rich, and soon wealth will take form around you. The outer always follows the inner. Money is only the mirror, the true cause is thought. Every great fortune began with thought. Every financial recovery began with thought. Every story of lack turning into abundance began with a person daring to think differently. If you want to change your money, change your mind. Your thoughts affect money more than any job, any economy, any condition outside yourself. You are the source of your supply because your thoughts connect you with the infinite supply that never runs out. Say to yourself daily, "I am a magnet for money. I think abundance, therefore abundance comes to me. I bless money, and it blesses me. I think increase, and I see increase everywhere." Speak it, believe it, and live it, for what you continually think, you will continually see. Your thoughts affect money, and in truth your thoughts create your money. The wealth you seek is already within you, waiting for you to call it forth with faith, gratitude, and vision. Hold fast to this truth, practice it daily, and watch as your finances transform. Money will come, multiply, and flow without struggle, because your thoughts have aligned with abundance. When you think abundance, you live abundance. When you think prosperity, you experience prosperity. When you think of money as your friend, your companion, and your blessing, it will never leave your side. Supply is unlimited. This is the truth that the world often forgets. Everywhere, people are taught to believe in shortage, in lack, in limitation. They are told there isn't enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough success to go around. Yet, this is the great lie of the human mind, not the truth of the universe. The universe is abundant, overflowing, and rich with endless supply. Look around you and see the air you breathe is never ending, the waves of the ocean never stop, the stars in the heavens cannot be counted, the grains of sand on the seashore cannot be measured. Nature itself testifies to the truth that supply is without limit. When you accept this truth in your heart, something within you shifts. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging and start commanding. You stop fearing and start trusting. For the same power that feeds the birds of the air and clothes the lilies of the field also provides for you. There is no shortage in the mind of the infinite, and you are one with that mind. Therefore lack is an illusion, and abundance is your reality. Too often people tie their belief in supply to outer conditions. They look at the numbers in their bank account, and if those numbers appear small, they believe they are poor. They look at the job market, the economy, or the circumstances around them, and they conclude that opportunity is scarce. But these outer pictures are only reflections of inner beliefs. They are shadows cast by the light of thought. If you change the thought, the shadow must change. If you affirm abundance, if you declare supply, if you speak words of increase, the outer conditions must rearrange themselves to match the vibration of your faith. Supply is not limited by your salary, your education, your family background, or the country you live in. Supply is not limited by time, nor is it controlled by chance. Supply is spiritual. It flows through invisible channels, opening doors you never expected, bringing blessings from sources you never imagined. Just as a river finds its way to the sea, so does abundance find its way to you when you allow it. Your part is not to struggle or strain, but to align your thoughts, your words, and your feelings with the truth of unlimited supply. Every time you say, "I don't have enough," you shut the door. Every time you worry, "What if it runs out?" you block the flow. But every time you say, "I live in an abundant universe, and supply is unlimited," you open the floodgates of prosperity. The words you speak are not idle, they carry power. They go forth and create after their kind. If you speak of lack, you create more lack. If you speak of plenty, you draw plenty. Therefore, let your words be filled with life and faith. Declare with conviction that supply is unlimited, that it flows to you freely, and that it multiplies in your hands. Consider this: the universe is always expanding. Galaxies stretch farther and farther into infinity. Creation is never finished, it is always unfolding. The same expansion is within you. Your desires for more life, more joy, more freedom, more prosperity are not selfish. They are echoes of the universe's own expansion. To deny your desires is to deny the very nature of creation. To embrace them, with faith and expectancy, is to align yourself with the ever-expanding flow of supply. Supply is not hoarded, nor is it restricted to a chosen few. It is not reserved for the rich, the powerful, or the fortunate. It is available to every soul who dares to believe. What sets apart the prosperous from the struggling is not chance, but consciousness. A prosperous mind knows that wealth is limitless, and therefore attracts it. A struggling mind clings to fear and scarcity, and therefore repels it. The transformation begins within. To change your financial world, you must first change your mental world. You must release the thought of limitation and embrace the thought of infinite abundance. When you hold money in your hand, do not see it as small or insignificant. See it as a seed. Within a seed lies a harvest beyond imagination. Within a single dollar lies the vibration of thousands more, waiting to multiply. Bless it, affirm it, and see it increase. Speak to it, for words are life. Say, "You are a symbol of the endless supply of the universe. You come back to me multiplied. You flow to me freely, abundantly, and without end." By doing this, you align your consciousness with the truth of unlimited supply, and your outer world must follow. The greatest mistake people make is to think that money is their source. Money is not the source, it is the effect. The source is invisible, inexhaustible, infinite. If money disappears, the source remains. If opportunities seem gone, the source still flows. If doors close, new ones must open, for supply can never be cut off. The fountain never runs dry. Only your belief in lack creates the appearance of drought. When you renew your faith in abundance, the river flows again. Imagine the sun shining. Does it ever run out of rays? No. Its light is continuous, unending. In the same way, the supply of life, health, wealth, and happiness never stops. You may close your curtains and block out the sun, but the sun still shines. In the same way, fear, doubt, and negative belief may close your curtain of consciousness, but the supply of abundance still flows. All you must do is open the curtain of faith, and the light of prosperity will flood your life again. Supply is unlimited. Say it again and again until it sinks deep into your subconscious mind. Supply is unlimited. When you see bills to pay, declare it. When you face expenses, affirm it. When doubt whispers, shout it in faith. Supply is unlimited. Your words create your world. Your belief directs your experience. Your faith determines your fortune. Do not be deceived by appearances. Even if you see emptiness, declare fullness. Even if you see lack, declare plenty. Even if you see obstacles, declare open doors. Faith does not wait to see before it believes. Faith believes first, and then sees the manifestation. Faith knows that supply is not in the outer picture, but in the invisible source that can never run dry. Many people live with clenched fists, holding tightly to what little they have, afraid to let it go. But abundance flows to the open hand, not the closed one. When you give freely, you declare your faith in unlimited supply. When you circulate money with joy, you show the universe you trust in its endless replenishment. Giving and receiving are one flow. As you release, you make space for more to come. As you bless others, you bless yourself. As you affirm supply for all, you multiply supply in your own life. Think of the ocean. You could never take so much from it that it becomes empty. You could fill 1,000 buckets, and still the ocean would remain full. In the same way, you cannot take from the universe in such a way that supply runs out. The more you draw, the more you prove its abundance. The more you believe, the more you receive. The universe is not a pie that gets smaller when others have a slice. It is a fountain that flows endlessly, giving and giving without measure. Supply is unlimited. Let this truth be the foundation of your life. Let it shape your thoughts, your words, your actions. When fear arises, remind yourself supply is unlimited. When worry knocks at your door, answer with faith, supply is unlimited. When doubt clouds your vision, lift your eyes to the truth, supply is unlimited. Soon you will see the outer evidence. Money will flow to you from unexpected channels. Opportunities will open where once there were none. Blessings will appear in ways that seem miraculous. Why? Because you shifted your inner world. Because you stopped believing in limitation and started believing in abundance. Because you claimed your inheritance as a child of the infinite. Supply is unlimited. You were never meant to live in lack, but to live in abundance. You were never meant to struggle for scraps, but to dine at the banquet of infinite supply. You were never meant to crawl in fear, but to walk in faith. The universe is abundant, and so are you. The river flows endlessly, and you are part of its current. Hold fast to this truth, declare it daily, live it boldly. Supply is unlimited, and it flows to you now, freely, joyfully, and without end. Bless what you have. These are simple words, yet they carry the key to unlocking doors of abundance, peace, and prosperity. Too many people look at what they hold in their hands and say, "This is not enough, this is too little. How can this ever meet my needs?" That complaint, that sense of lack, shuts the very gates of supply. But when you bless what you already have, when you give thanks for even the smallest coin, the smallest opportunity, or the smallest resource, you release a magnetic power that draws multiplication to you. Life responds to the spirit in which you meet it. If you look at your possessions, your money, your home, your relationships with a spirit of dissatisfaction, you send out an energy of resistance. That resistance creates more reasons to be dissatisfied. But if you bless the little, if you look at what you already have and see it as good, if you give thanks for it with a full heart, you open the door for the greater to come. The law is simple: what you bless increases, what you resent decreases. Think of a gardener planting seeds. If he despises the tiny seeds in his hand, if he says, "These are so small, they could never become anything," then he will not plant them with care, and the harvest will wither. But if he blesses the seed, sees in it the future of abundance, nurtures it with gratitude, he will reap a rich harvest. In the same way, money, no matter how small, must be blessed. The smallest coin can carry within it the vibration of multiplication when it is held with thanksgiving. People often say, "When I have more, I will be grateful. When I am rich, then I will bless." But that is the reverse of the law. Gratitude is not the effect of abundance. It is the cause of abundance. The person who waits to be thankful will always wait, because lack multiplies where there is complaint. But the person who blesses every dollar, every opportunity, every possession, even while it seems little, sets into motion the law of increase. The universe does not respond to waiting, it responds to believing. And gratitude is the proof of belief. If you look at your purse and see only emptiness, your mind will create more emptiness. If you look at your purse, even with a single coin, and say, "This is blessed, this multiplies, this is a symbol of infinite supply," then that one coin becomes like the seed that grows into a forest. The coin itself may be small, but the energy you attach to it is limitless. That is the difference between one who complains and one who blesses. Bless what you have in your home. Maybe your home is not as large as you dream, maybe the furniture is not as new as you desire, maybe the clothes in your closet are few, but if you bless them, if you give thanks for the shelter you have, if you appreciate the chair you sit on, the clothes that cover you, the food that nourishes you, you will draw to yourself more, better, and greater. If you complain, if you despise the small beginnings, you hold yourself back from the greater good that waits. Bless what you have in your work. Perhaps your job does not pay what you desire. Perhaps the tasks feel heavy. Yet if you bless the work, if you say, "This is the channel through which good flows to me, and greater channels are opening," you create an energy that draws better opportunities. If you curse the work, you close the door to progress. Every task blessed, no matter how small, is a seed of increase. Bless what you have in your relationships. Perhaps some friends are few, or family feels imperfect. But if you bless them, if you see the good, if you give thanks for the love that is present, you will multiply love in your life. If you complain, if you constantly focus on what is lacking, you shrink the flow of love. Bless what you have, and love will grow. Even in times of apparent lack, the power of blessing can turn situations around. Imagine holding a small coin and saying with conviction, "You are blessed, you multiply, you draw your friends to you, you are a magnet for abundance." As you repeat this blessing, you shift your consciousness from lack to supply, and supply responds. The outer world mirrors the inner belief. To bless what you have is to affirm that good is already present, and good increases where it is recognized. There is a spiritual law that says, "To him that hath shall be given." It does not say, "To him that complains more shall be given." It says, "To him that hath." What does this mean? It means the one who sees the good he already has, who blesses it, who acknowledges it, opens the way for more. The one who sees nothing good, who despises what little he holds, loses even that. Blessing is the act of seeing abundance where others see lack. It is the act of calling forth increase from the invisible. Blessing is not just words. It is the energy behind the words. You can say, "Thank you," with a heart full of worry, and it will carry no power. But when you bless with true conviction, when you truly feel that what you have is good, you release the creative force. So take your money in your hands. Look at it with respect. Do not see it as small. See it as the seed of a forest. Say, "I bless you. You multiply. You return to me 1,000-fold. You are a symbol of the infinite riches of the universe, and you cannot fail to increase." Speak this not once, but often. Every time you pay a bill, bless the money as it leaves, knowing it returns multiplied. Every time you receive even a small amount, bless it, and watch it grow. Every time you give, bless it, for blessing what you release ensures that more comes back. This is the cycle of abundance. Blessing creates increase, and increase creates more to bless. Do not fall into the trap of comparing yourself with others. Do not look at another's riches and despise your portion. What another has does not diminish what you can have. In fact, when you bless another's prosperity, you align yourself with the same energy. Jealousy blocks increase, but blessing multiplies it. See someone else succeed, bless them, and say, "That good is for me too, and mine comes in its right time." Bless their wealth, and yours will grow. Bless what you have, even in your body. Perhaps you desire better health, more strength, more vitality. Bless the health you have today. Thank your body for every breath, every step, every heartbeat. What you bless grows strong. What you curse weakens. Many focus on their pain, their weakness, and the pain grows. But when you bless your body, when you affirm its strength, its wholeness, its vitality, health increases. Bless even your challenges. This may sound difficult, but within every challenge lies a hidden blessing, a hidden seed of growth. When you face difficulty and say, "I bless this as part of my path to greater good," you transform the difficulty into a stepping stone. If you resist, if you complain, if you curse the difficulty, it becomes heavier. But when you bless it, it opens into an opportunity. The act of blessing is not passive, it is creative. To bless is to call forth the good. To bless is to multiply. To bless is to align yourself with the infinite supply that surrounds you. The more you practice blessing, the more natural it becomes, until every thought, every word, every action becomes a channel of increase. Bless your morning when you wake. Bless your day before it begins. Bless your work as you start it. Bless the people you meet. Bless the money you touch. Bless the food you eat. Bless the roof over your head. Bless the clothes you wear. Bless the smallest things, for in blessing the small, you prepare the way for the great. Remember always, what you bless increases, what you resent decreases. If you can look at your life today, no matter how modest it may seem, and say with all your heart, "This is blessed," and it multiplies, then you have already begun the process of multiplication. You have already unlocked the door to abundance. You have already called forth the increase that cannot fail to come. So never curse what you have. Never despise the small. Never complain of little. Instead, bless it. Bless it with gratitude. Bless it with joy. Bless it with faith. For the universe echoes your words, and the universe multiplies your belief. And when you bless what you have, truly, what you have will multiply. Words have creative power. Every sound you release, every thought you give voice to carries energy. It is not simply language or communication, it is vibration, it is life, it is a seed planted in the invisible that will, in time, grow into the visible. People often underestimate the force of words. They think a statement made in anger passes away, a declaration spoken in faith is just imagination, a sentence of fear has no impact. But the truth is, words never vanish. They move, they live, they create, and they return to the one who spoke them. When you look at your life today, you are looking at the harvest of yesterday's words. The phrases you repeated, the beliefs you reinforced, the conversations you entertained, all of these formed the conditions you live in right now. If you spoke of lack, lack showed up. If you declared failure, failure found its way to you. If you affirmed health, love, peace, and prosperity, you opened doors for these blessings to flow. Words are not idle. Words are not empty. They are the blueprint of reality. Every successful person who has ever achieved something great first spoke it. They dared to say, "I will succeed," even when the evidence did not yet exist. They dared to affirm, "I will rise." Even when circumstances pushed them down, they dared to believe in the creative power of their own voice. And the universe, always listening, always responding, echoed back their faith in the form of opportunities, connections, resources, and results. If words carry such power, then what do you think happens when you say, "I can't afford this"? Or, "Money never stays with me"? Those words create conditions of lack. They plant a seed of scarcity in your subconscious, and your life aligns to prove those words true. But what if you shifted your language? What if instead of saying, "I can't afford it," You said, the money I need is on its way. What if instead of saying, I never have enough, you said, my supply is unlimited and it flows to me in perfect timing? Can you see the difference in vibration? One closes the door, the other opens it wide. The creative power of words is not a new discovery. Ancient teachings, sacred texts, and timeless wisdom have always emphasized this truth: the tongue can build or destroy, bless or curse, release or imprison. To speak is to choose, and every choice has a result. Your words are the architects of your destiny. Think of the gardener who goes to the soil. If he plants roses, roses grow. If he plants thorns, thorns grow. The soil does not argue. The soil does not judge. The soil simply gives back what was planted. The mind, the universe, the unseen realm of supply, it is all soil. And your words are the seeds. What are you planting daily? Are you scattering seeds of joy, abundance, and health, or are you filling your garden with weeds of fear, resentment, and lack? Some may laugh and say, it cannot be so simple. But the truth is, it is simple, though not always easy. It takes discipline to hold your tongue when fear rises. It takes practice to replace negative speech with words of power. It takes faith to affirm abundance when your bank account says otherwise. Yet those who persist discover that life bends to the language of belief. Words spoken with conviction transform circumstances. Words whispered in faith turn into miracles. Every day you are shaping your future with your speech. Every casual remark, every repeated complaint, every confident declaration is adding bricks to the structure of your tomorrow. If you desire a palace, stop building a prison with words of limitation. If you long for freedom, do not chain yourself with conversations of impossibility. The universe hears not only what you mean but what you say. Your words summon energies, attract opportunities, and open or close doors. When you bless money with your words, it multiplies. When you speak health into your body, strength appears. When you affirm harmony in relationships, peace enters. But when you curse your job, when you complain about your bills, when you declare that nothing ever works out, you are unknowingly sending commands into the unseen that shape the scene. It is not about pretending problems do not exist. It is about refusing to empower them with your tongue. You can acknowledge a challenge without magnifying it with destructive speech. Instead of saying, this is impossible, you can say, a way will be made. Instead of saying, I always fail, you can say, I am learning, growing, and success is inevitable. Instead of saying, I am sick, you can say, my body is restoring itself to perfect health. The words carry the vibration of faith or fear. Fear-filled words lower your energy, attract confusion, and block the flow of good. Faith-filled words raise your energy, invite clarity, and release the flow of abundance. The choice is yours. Every conversation, every thought spoken aloud, every affirmation, and even every complaint is a choice of vibration. Do you want to create a life of plenty or a life of lack? Look to your words, and you will find the answer. Let me remind you, you cannot speak defeat and expect victory. You cannot declare lack and expect prosperity. You cannot curse and expect blessing. The outer world listens to the inner language you use daily. If you long for multiplication, if you long for increase, then fill your mouth with words that align with increase. Say, I am rich in supply. Say, I am surrounded by abundance. Say, everything I touch prospers. These are not empty phrases. They are commands. They are instructions. They are signals to the infinite supply to arrange itself in your favor. When you hold money in your hand and say, you multiply in my life, you are activating the law of growth. When you bless every coin, every bill, every bit of income with words of gratitude and faith, you are setting into motion the multiplication of your resources. It is not magic, it is alignment, it is the law of cause and effect. Words are causes. Conditions are effects. Speak the right causes and the right effects must follow. Think of the power that lies within you. Every morning when you wake, your tongue holds the power to shape the day. You can declare, this will be a day of favor, increase, and joy, or you can declare, this will be another hard day. Which day would you rather experience? The day bends toward your declaration. Life responds to your command. The creative force of words also extends to how you speak about others. When you criticize, condemn, and speak ill of people, you are not only sending out negative energy toward them, you are surrounding yourself with that same vibration. But when you bless others, when you affirm their success, when you speak well of them, you raise your own energy and open the flow of good into your life. To speak good is to align with good. To curse is to align with the very energy you condemn. Words create atmosphere. You can walk into a home filled with words of anger and feel the heaviness in the air. You can enter a place filled with words of love and gratitude and feel the warmth immediately. In the same way, your life atmosphere is shaped by your daily speech. If you constantly declare stress, struggle, and lack, your life atmosphere will be heavy with those conditions. But if you fill your space with words of joy, peace, and prosperity, your life atmosphere will be light, bright, and abundant. The key is consistency. One positive word cannot always cancel years of negative speech. But with persistence, with discipline, with a daily commitment to bless and affirm, you will see transformation. It is like turning a great ship at sea. At first the turn is slow, but once the course changes, the ship moves steadily in the new direction. Your life will follow your words in the same way. Begin now. Be mindful of your language. Listen to yourself when you speak about money, health, relationships, and opportunities. If your words are negative, cancel them immediately and replace them with affirmations of good. If your words are fearful, transform them into words of faith. If your words are small, expand them into words of greatness. Remember, you are not limited by what is around you. You are limited only by what comes out of you. Say to yourself, my words have power. My words create my reality. I choose to speak blessings, abundance, and increase. Let every word you speak become a building block of the life you desire. Let every declaration be a step toward the future you dream of. Words are not to be wasted, for they are treasures, seeds, forces of creation. Use them with wisdom, and they will reward you with miracles. Never again speak lightly of your speech. Never again dismiss the words you say as meaningless. They are forming your tomorrows. They are shaping your supply. They are creating the conditions of your health, wealth, and peace. The power is already within you. You do not need to look outside. You need only to look at the words you are speaking. The future is not written on stone, it is spoken by your tongue. If you desire abundance, speak abundance. If you desire joy, speak joy. If you desire peace, speak peace. And if you desire multiplication, speak multiplication. For words have creative power, and what you consistently affirm with faith must, without fail, manifest in your life. Money is a tool, a servant, and a symbol. It was never meant to be feared, hated, or worshipped. It was meant to flow, like the rivers that find their way to the ocean, like the wind that carries seeds across the earth. When you hold money in your hand, you are not simply holding paper or metal. You are holding a representation of the infinite supply of the universe. Every note, every coin, every form of wealth is a messenger, a carrier of energy, and it responds to the vibration you give it. Most people treat money with mixed feelings. Some fear it, some resent it, some grasp it so tightly that it slips away, others chase it endlessly, believing it to be forever out of reach. But here is the truth: money listens. It responds to the way you hold it, the way you speak of it, the way you feel about it. If you hold it in fear, you push it away. If you bless it with love, it multiplies and returns. Love is the greatest force in the universe. It is the magnet of life, the energy that draws all good things together. And when you apply love to money, you transform its nature in your experience. You no longer see it as scarce. You see it as abundant. You no longer feel that it is difficult. You feel that it is easy. You no longer believe that money controls you. You realize you are the master, and money joyfully serves you. Hold money with love. Feel gratitude for the supply you already have, whether it is a small amount or a large one. A single coin held in love can attract more than a fistful of bills held in fear. Why? Because energy is multiplied through vibration. The attitude you bring to the smallest amount sets the pattern for the largest. If you cannot bless the little, you cannot receive the greater. When you hold money, instead of saying, "This isn't enough," say, "Thank you, this is proof of abundance flowing in my life." Instead of worrying, "What if I lose this?" declare, "Money comes to me easily and frequently." Instead of doubting, "How will I ever have more?" affirm, "I live in a universe of unlimited supply." The way you speak to money is the way it speaks back to you. Words are seeds, and every declaration plants a harvest in your future. Many people unknowingly curse money. They call it evil. They complain about not having enough. They talk about how hard it is to get. They treat money as if it is against them. But money has no nature other than the one you assign it. In truth, money is neutral. It takes the shape of your consciousness. If you call it your enemy, it will flee from you. If you call it your friend, it will remain and multiply. Hold money with love and say, "You are a symbol of endless abundance. You are a channel of blessings. You flow to me freely, and you multiply in my life." Speak to it as you would speak to a beloved friend. Because in truth, money loves to be loved. It thrives on gratitude. It flourishes when it is appreciated. Imagine for a moment that every dollar or coin you hold is alive with energy. Imagine it hears your words, feels your emotions, and responds accordingly. If you scold it, if you cry over it, if you treat it with disdain, it will slip away to find someone who appreciates it. But if you embrace it, if you bless it, if you celebrate it, then it wants to return, bringing more of its friends with it. Hold money with love, and release fear. Fear of money is the greatest block to wealth. Fear says, "There's not enough." Fear says, "It will run out." Fear says, "I'll never have more." But fear is a lie. Fear blinds you to the truth that the universe is rich, overflowing, and abundant. Fear shuts the door to supply while love flings it open wide. Love speaks differently. Love says, "I am grateful for what I have and I know more is coming." Love says, "I trust the process of increase. I am safe in abundance." Love says, I do not chase money, money flows naturally to me. Love turns lack into plenty, delay into speed, and worry into peace. Do not despise the small beginnings. When you hold even a single coin, hold it with love. Bless it as if it were the first sign of a fortune arriving. For in truth, it is. That little coin is proof that supply is flowing in your direction. The more you acknowledge it with joy, the greater its current becomes. Think of money as a river. If you dam it up with fear, resentment, or miserliness, it stagnates. But if you bless it, love it, and allow it to flow, the river widens. It nourishes not only you but those around you. Because love does not cling, love circulates. The more freely you bless and release money, the more quickly it returns multiplied. So many people hoard money out of fear, believing that if they hold tightly enough, they will never run out. But holding money in fear creates resistance, and resistance blocks flow. The tighter you grasp, the less you receive. Instead, hold money with love, gently but confidently, knowing it is safe to circulate, knowing it always comes back, knowing the supply is endless. Say to money as you hold it, I love you, I bless you, I release you to multiply. Wherever you go, you bless others and return to me increased. Feel the energy of increase as you say these words. Speak them not as a desperate plea but as a confident declaration. Speak them with joy, with gratitude, and with certainty. Your relationship with money is like any other relationship. If you treat it with suspicion, anger, or mistrust, it does not thrive, but if you treat it with appreciation, respect, and love, it grows. Hold money with love, and you will notice opportunities appear. You will see doors open. You will encounter unexpected blessings. Why? Because money is simply a mirror reflecting your state of consciousness. What you believe about money becomes your experience with it. If you believe money is hard, it will be. If you believe it is scarce, it will disappear. But if you believe it is abundant, easy, and joyful, then that becomes your reality. The mind is the soil and money is the seed. Whatever thoughts you plant will grow in your financial garden. So when you hold money in your hand, pause and speak life into it. Say, I live in a universe of unlimited supply. Money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. I am always provided for. I bless every dollar and every dollar blesses me. Do this often, and you will retrain your mind, shift your vibration, and align yourself with the infinite current of wealth. Never speak of lack. Never call money hard. Never declare that there isn't enough. These words are chains that bind supply. Instead, declare abundance, speak increase, and affirm multiplication. Even when your outer circumstances seem small, your words will prepare the way for greater. What you speak with love will manifest in time. Hold money with love, and remember, you are not dependent on the economy, the job, or the world's conditions. Money flows from the unseen to the seen, from the invisible to the visible. Your true source is infinite, and money is simply one channel of that source. When one channel closes, another opens. Supply never dries up when love is your foundation. Love dissolves fear, love dissolves worry, love dissolves lack. To hold money with love is to declare, I am one with abundance, I am never without, I am always supplied. This attitude changes everything. It changes how you spend, how you receive, and how you attract. As you practice this, you will notice something remarkable. Not only does money multiply, but peace multiplies. Joy multiplies, opportunities multiply. Because love is not limited to finances, it transforms every area of life. So take a bill or a coin in your hand right now. Look at it with new eyes. See it as a symbol of infinite supply. Bless it, love it, and speak to it with faith. Tell it, you are welcome here, you multiply here, you bless me, and I bless you. Then watch as your outer world begins to shift, as supply begins to flow, and as money responds to the love you have given it. For the truth is simple, whatever you hold with love will always increase. Hold money with love and it will multiply. Scarcity is a shadow that lives only in the mind. It is not truth, it is not law, it is simply a belief, and beliefs can be changed. The world has taught many to think in terms of lack. There is not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough time, not enough love. From early years, people hear phrases such as, money doesn't grow on trees, or, you have to fight for every penny. These ideas take root and form the foundation of a scarcity mindset. But this is illusion, not reality. The truth is that supply is infinite, wealth is unending, and abundance is your birthright. To shift from scarcity to abundance is to shift from illusion to truth. Scarcity says there is only so much to go around, and if someone has more, you must have less. Abundance says there is always more, and what one person receives does not reduce another's portion. Scarcity lives in fear, while abundance lives in faith. Scarcity clutches tightly, holding on with worry and doubt. Abundance releases freely, knowing that what flows out must flow back multiplied. Imagine a river. A person with a scarcity mindset dips a small cup into the river and trembles, fearing the water will run dry, so they drink sparingly and hoard what little they take. A person with an abundance mindset steps boldly into the river, confident that the stream never ends, and they drink deeply, freely, joyfully. Which one are you? The truth is that the river of life never dries up. The The source is eternal, the flow cannot stop. But only those who trust in abundance can experience the fullness of that flow. Scarcity is a voice of worry. It whispers, what if there is not enough? What if it runs out? What if I lose what I have? That whisper grows into fear, and fear blocks the channels through which abundance flows. When fear rules, the hand cannot receive because it is already clenched in anxiety. Abundance, however, is a song of faith. It sings, more is always on the way. I am connected to infinite supply. What I need comes easily and freely. When this song fills your heart, your hands open, your spirit lifts, and you attract new opportunities, new resources, new wealth. The shift from scarcity to abundance begins within. It does not start in your bank account, your job, or your circumstances. It begins in your mind, in your words, and in your heart. If you hold the thought of scarcity, your world mirrors it back to you: unpaid bills, doors closed, money slipping away. If you hold the thought of abundance, your world mirrors that as well: unexpected income, new connections, doors opening wide. The outer world reflects the inner belief. Change the belief, and the reflection must change. When you look at money, how do you feel? If you feel fear, resentment, or worry, you are seeing through the eyes of scarcity. If you feel gratitude, joy, and expectancy, you are seeing through the eyes of abundance. The money itself has not changed. It is neutral. It is your vibration, your thought, and your feeling that give it meaning. So bless every dollar that comes into your hand. Love it, honor it, appreciate it. Say to it, you are a symbol of abundance, and you multiply as you flow. These words transform your energy, and energy is what attracts more. Scarcity makes people compete, compare, and envy. It says, if they win, I lose. If they rise, I fall. But abundance celebrates others' success because it knows their gain is proof of possibility. If someone else prospers, it is evidence that prosperity is active in the world, and if it flows to them, it can flow to you. Abundance rejoices at another's wealth, another's breakthrough, another's blessing, because it confirms that the river is full and overflowing. Think of the air you breathe. Do you fear it will run out? Do you worry there is not enough for all? No, you breathe freely, deeply, knowing that air surrounds you, endless and abundant. Money, opportunities, ideas, and supply are just as abundant as air. The only difference is belief. When you believe in scarcity, you breathe shallowly, holding your breath, afraid there will not be enough. When you believe in abundance, you inhale fully, exhale freely, and trust the next breath will always be there. And it is. To live in abundance, you must retrain your mind. Replace the language of lack with the language of increase. Do not say, I can't afford this. But instead declare, I choose to welcome greater supply. Do not say, money is hard to come by. But affirm, money flows to me easily and frequently. Do not say, I never have enough. But affirm, I always have more than enough. Every word you speak is a seed, and seeds grow. Sow seeds of abundance, and you will reap abundance. Gratitude is the bridge from scarcity to abundance. When you give thanks for what you have, even if it seems small, you multiply it. A grateful heart says, I see the blessing. I acknowledge the blessing, I honor the blessing, and the universe answers, here is more. An ungrateful heart says, this is not enough. And the universe answers, then you shall not see more. Gratitude is not just polite manners, it is spiritual magnetism. It pulls greater good into your life. The more you thank, the more you receive. Faith is the fuel of abundance. To believe when you see is ordinary, to believe before you see is extraordinary. Scarcity waits for proof and withholds belief until the evidence appears. Abundance believes first and therefore creates the evidence. When you walk by faith, you declare, my supply is certain, even if I do not yet see it. My prosperity is assured, even if it has not yet arrived. That faith opens channels, moves mountains, and causes opportunities to appear where none seem possible. Release is also part of abundance. Scarcity clings tightly to every dollar, afraid it may never return. Abundance gives freely, knowing that what is given returns multiplied. Like a seed planted in the earth, money released in faith grows into a harvest. Whether you give to a person, a cause, or an opportunity, you are planting in the soil of the universe, and the harvest cannot be denied. Give with joy, not with fear, and what you release will come back to you in greater measure. The shift from scarcity to abundance is not just about money. It is about life itself. Scarcity thinks in terms of limitation, limited time, limited love, limited creativity, limited health. Abundance thinks in terms of overflow, more time, more love, more ideas, more vitality. Scarcity asks, what if I lose? Abundance asks, what if I gain? Scarcity worries, what if it ends? Abundance rejoices, what if it begins? The perspective you hold determines the life you live. You were not born to scrape by, to struggle endlessly, to live in constant worry. You were born to thrive, to prosper, to overflow. The universe is rich beyond measure. Look at the stars. Are they counted? Look at the ocean. Can you measure its drops? Look at the sand. Can you number each grain? Nature itself is testimony that abundance is the law. If the Creator did not withhold the stars, the seas, or the sands, why would supply be withheld from you? When you shift from scarcity to abundance, you step into alignment with the truth of the universe. You stop asking, "Is there enough for me?" and start declaring, "There is always more than enough." You stop fearing loss and start expecting gain. You stop clinging to the little you have and start welcoming the greater that is on its way. You move from survival to overflow, from worry to peace, from fear to joy. Let this shift be sealed with your words. Hold money in your hand, no matter how small the amount, and declare, "You are not the end. You are the beginning. You are not limited. You are limitless. You are not scarce. You are abundant. You multiply as you flow, and you return to me multiplied." Speak this with faith, with joy, with expectation, and you will see doors open, opportunities appear, and resources gather. The moment you shift from scarcity to abundance, you unlock a new reality. Money begins to chase you instead of you chasing money. Opportunities begin to seek you instead of you begging for them. Life begins to unfold with ease, because you have aligned with the eternal truth. Abundance is everywhere, always unending. The river is flowing, the supply is infinite, and your portion is assured. Step into that truth, speak it, believe it, and live it, and abundance will be your reality. Money responds to your vibration. This is a truth that cannot be denied, because money is not lifeless, nor is it just an object that moves randomly in the world. It is energy, and like all energy, it resonates with the frequency you carry. If you live in fear, worry, and doubt, money reflects that vibration. It slips away, it hides, it becomes scarce. But when you live in faith, gratitude, and expectancy, money mirrors that energy. It appears, it flows, it multiplies. Your vibration is the invitation. Money simply answers the call. Many people believe money is outside of them, something they must chase, struggle for, or beg to receive. But the truth is far more powerful. Money is already connected to you. It is attracted to you through the energy you carry in your mind, your words, and your emotions. Every thought you think and every feeling you release is a signal. That signal either calls abundance forward or pushes it away. Think of your vibration as a magnet. A magnet does not strain to pull objects toward itself, it simply draws them because of its nature. In the same way, you do not need to strain, force, or exhaust yourself to bring money into your life. You need only align your vibration with the energy of wealth, joy, and sufficiency. The magnet does not wonder, "Will it work?" It knows its power. So too must you know the power of your vibration. If you carry the vibration of lack, you will find lack everywhere. You will notice the bills piling up, the empty wallet, the closed doors. You will focus on what you do not have, and in doing so, you will invite more of the same. But when you carry the vibration of abundance, everything changes. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You notice doors opening. You feel wealthy even before the money arrives, and that feeling itself draws money to you. Money does not come because of fear. Fear contracts energy. Fear closes doors. Fear says, "There is not enough." But abundance does not respond to contraction, it responds to expansion. That is why joy, gratitude, and confidence are so magnetic. They expand your energy, and when you expand, life expands with you. Money, opportunities, and blessings naturally flow into expanded spaces. Begin today to examine your vibration when you think of money. Do you tense up? Do you feel worry? Do you rehearse the thought, "It is hard to get, it never stays, I don't have enough"? These thoughts carry the vibration of lack. They push money away. Change them. Replace them with vibrations of trust. Hold money in your hand and say, "You are a symbol of endless supply. You return to me multiplied. You flow easily, freely, and joyfully." As you speak, feel the truth of the words. Speak them not as a wish but as a command, a declaration of reality. Money is not your master, it is your servant. It follows your vibration. If you vibrate scarcity, it obeys and disappears. If you vibrate abundance, it obeys and increases. You are always in command whether you realize it or not. Consider a radio station. If you tune to a frequency of sadness, you cannot hear a joyful song. If you tune to scarcity, you cannot receive abundance. The frequency determines the reception. Likewise, if you wish to experience more money, you must tune to the vibration of wealth. Feel wealthy, speak wealthy, believe wealthy, act wealthy. Do this before the physical evidence appears, and soon the evidence will come, because energy always precedes matter. Many people say, "I will feel abundant once I have the money." But that is backwards. You must feel abundant first, for feeling is the cause and money is the effect. The tree does not grow before the seed is planted. The seed must come first. Your vibration is the seed. Plant the vibration of wealth, and the harvest of money must appear. Money responds to joy. When you do what you love, when you give from the heart, when you share your talents with enthusiasm, money flows. Joy is one of the highest vibrations, and money is drawn to it. Money responds to gratitude. When you bless what you already have, however little it may seem, you send out a vibration of plenty, and plenty attracts more plenty. Money responds to faith. When you trust that supply is infinite, when you believe that your needs are already met, when you declare that good flows to you now, the The universe aligns itself to fulfill your vibration. Do not underestimate the power of your words. Words are vibration made audible. Every word you speak about money either blesses or curses it. If you say, I never have enough, you program scarcity into your vibration. If you say, money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways, you program abundance into your vibration. Your words are creative, and they set the pattern for money's response. Guard your conversations. Do not speak of poverty, debt, or despair as if they are permanent. Speak instead of increase, multiplication, and divine provision. Say, money is my faithful servant. Money loves me. Money is always finding its way to me. I attract wealth with ease. These statements are not mere fantasies, they are vibrational commands. They tell money how to respond. You may wonder, how can I speak abundance when my reality looks so different? The answer is simply reality shifts when vibration shifts. If you keep focusing on the present lack, you will only prolong it. But if you begin to speak and feel abundance now, you invite a new reality into being. Energy does not wait for conditions, conditions follow energy. Remember this: the universe is overflowing with riches. There is no shortage of money. Shortage exists only in the minds of those who believe it. If one person can prosper, then prosperity is possible for all. If money can flow to others, it can flow to you. The law is no respecter of persons. It responds only to vibration. Ask yourself daily, what am I vibrating? Am I vibrating fear or faith? Am I vibrating lack or plenty? Am I vibrating worry or gratitude? Adjust your vibration, and you adjust your financial reality. Even in moments of apparent difficulty, keep your vibration high. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, say, I choose to spend wisely, and more is on its way to me. Instead of saying, I'm broke, say, I am wealthy in spirit, and wealth is manifesting in my world. These small shifts in vibration create great shifts in experience. Money is not only physical currency, it is also opportunities, ideas, connections, and gifts. Often, money comes not directly but through channels. New jobs, inspired ideas, unexpected favor, or someone's generosity. Stay open. Do not limit how money finds you. Simply hold the vibration of abundance, and the universe will decide the channel. When you bless others with money, you also increase your vibration. Giving does not diminish you, it expands you. When you give with joy, you send a signal to the universe. I am abundant, and I can share. And the universe responds by sending more. Hoarding in fear lowers your vibration. Generosity in faith raises it. Train yourself to see money as a friend, not an enemy. Many people resent money, blame it, or fear it. They call it evil or corrupt, and then wonder why it avoids them. But money is neutral. It takes on the vibration you give it. Bless it as a tool, a servant, a gift. See it as good, and it will do good for you. Money is always listening. It listens to the way you think, speak, and feel about it. If you constantly declare, it's hard to earn money, it never stays, I don't know where it will come from. Money obeys and becomes hard to earn, quick to leave, and uncertain in flow. But if you declare, money comes easily, money multiplies, money flows like a river in my life, it listens and fulfills your vibration. Your financial future is not determined by the economy, by your job, or by others. It is determined by your vibration. Even in the midst of crisis, those who hold the vibration of abundance continue to prosper. Even in times of scarcity, those who align with wealth attract it. Conditions do not control vibration. Vibration controls conditions. Say within yourself now, money responds to my vibration. I vibrate abundance, wealth, and joy. Money loves me and multiplies for me. I am open to receive in countless ways. Let these words sink into your subconscious. Repeat them often. Feel them as truth. As you do, your vibration shifts and money cannot help but respond. The world is waiting for you to rise to your true vibration. You are not meant to live in lack, fear, or limitation. You are meant to experience the fullness of life, the joy of abundance, and the freedom of supply. All of this begins with your vibration. Change your vibration, and you change your finances. Money is ready to multiply in your hands. It is ready to flow through your life. It is waiting for your signal, your command, your vibration. So raise it now. Vibrate gratitude, vibrate joy, and watch as money responds faithfully, generously, and endlessly. Because money always responds to your vibration, and your vibration is the key to endless supply. Money is drawn to certainty. It is drawn to the one who knows, not the one who wishes. It flows to the heart that is steady, not the one that wavers. To understand this truth is to unlock one of the greatest secrets of wealth and supply. For money, like all good things, responds to conviction, to belief, to the vibration of unwavering faith. So many people approach money with doubt. They think, maybe I will receive it, maybe I will not. Maybe opportunities will come, maybe they will pass me by. Maybe life will bless me, maybe it will leave me struggling. That state of uncertainty is like standing in two worlds, never planting both feet firmly on the ground. And because they are not rooted in belief, money drifts away from them. They push it back with their own hesitation. But when a person becomes certain, when they declare, I am supplied, I am abundant, money flows to me, I have more than enough. Then money responds. It cannot resist certainty, for certainty is a magnet. The universe itself aligns with the one who is unwavering in faith, for their word becomes law, their conviction becomes reality. Imagine holding a magnet. The stronger the magnet, the more easily it pulls metal toward itself. Certainty is that magnet, and money is the metal. When you are firm, steady, and confident in your supply, you draw it to you. But when you are doubtful, you weaken your magnetic force. You scatter your energy and money scatters away. Every fortune, every opportunity, every open door first begins in certainty. The inventor who is certain that his idea will work, creates. The artist who is certain that beauty will pour through them, paints. The entrepreneur who is certain of success, attracts the resources to succeed. The one who waits for evidence, who waits for proof before they believe, always lags behind. But the one who decides first, the one who knows before seeing, is the one who commands increase. Money does not create certainty. Certainty creates money. The world has taught many people to believe the opposite. They think, once I have more money, I will feel secure. Once I have more money, I will trust. Once I have more money, I will be confident. But this is reversing the law. Security, trust, and confidence are not effects of money, they are causes. And when you embody them, money cannot help but come to you. Hold money in your hand right now, whether it is one coin or one bill. Look at it, feel it. Instead of saying, this is too little. This will not last. This is not enough. Declare, this multiplies. This expands. This is the seed of infinite supply. When you do this, you shift from uncertainty to certainty. You place yourself in the vibration of abundance, and abundance must meet you. Words are not just sounds, they are forces. They create images, feelings, and energies that ripple through the unseen. When you say, I never have enough, you plant the seed of lack. When you say, money is hard to come by, you water the soil of struggle. When you say, I cannot afford this, you close the door to possibility. But when you say with certainty, money comes to me easily. Money multiplies in my hands. Money loves me and I love it. You open the floodgates of increase. The difference is certainty. Anyone can speak words, but only certainty gives them power. To say the words while doubting is like planting seeds in rocky soil. Nothing grows. But to say the words with conviction, with certainty, is to plant seeds in fertile ground. They must spring forth, they must produce, they must multiply. Consider the farmer. He does not plant seeds and then say, perhaps they will grow, perhaps they will not. Maybe the soil will work, maybe it will fail. No, the farmer plants with certainty. He trusts the law of growth. He knows that what is sown must come forth in its season, and because of his certainty he labors with peace, he waters with joy, he waits with patience. So it is with money. Sow with certainty, and the harvest must come. Many people pray for money while secretly doubting it will come. They say the words with their lips, but their hearts whisper, it is impossible, it is unlikely, it will never happen for me. And so their uncertainty cancels their prayer. But the one who prays with certainty, who says, it is done. Supply is mine. Abundance flows now, receives because their inner conviction aligns with the law of increase. Money is intelligent energy. It responds to your attitude. It knows when it is welcomed and when it is feared. It knows when it is blessed and when it is cursed. If you treat it as a burden, it flees. If you treat it as evil, it hides. But if you treat it as a friend, as a gift, as a tool of blessing, it runs to you, it multiplies for you, it stays with you. Certainty tells money, you are safe here. You are welcome here. You are celebrated here. And money responds with loyalty. Some say, but I cannot feel certain until I see the money. That is like saying, I cannot feel warmth until the fire appears, while refusing to strike the match. The feeling of certainty is the match. It creates the fire. You must feel it before you see it. You must know it before it manifests. This is the way of all creation. Think of the times when you knew without question that something would happen, and it did. Perhaps you had a clear sense that you would meet someone, and you did. Or you felt certain you would receive good news, and it arrived. That inner knowing was certainty, and it drew the result to you. Money is no different. It follows certainty like a shadow follows light. When you say, I am abundant, you are not lying, you are declaring truth. You are not describing your current bank account, you are describing the unseen supply that is infinite. When you say, I am rich, you are not boasting, you are aligning with the reality that riches are your birthright. Certainty is not about pretending. It is about knowing. And once you know, money knows you. Imagine living each day with absolute certainty that money loves you, that opportunities are chasing you, that your needs are already met before you even ask. How different would your energy be? How differently would you walk, speak, and think? That energy shift is exactly what unlocks the flow of abundance. Money is not drawn to desperation, it is drawn to confidence. It is not drawn to fear, it is drawn to faith. This is why two people can live in the same world, in the same city, with the same opportunities, yet one prospers and the other struggles. The difference is certainty. One walks in fear, speaking of bills, lack, and worry. The other walks in confidence, speaking of increase, blessing, and supply. And the universe reflects their certainty back to them. If you desire more money, cultivate certainty. Each morning, affirm, I am certain of my supply. I am certain of my abundance. I am certain that money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. Repeat these words until they become truth within you. Speak them not as hope, but as reality. When the doubt arises, replace it with certainty. When the fear whispers, drown it out with conviction. Money is drawn to certainty the way flowers turn toward the sun. The brighter your certainty, the stronger your magnet. Stand tall, speak with authority, believe with unwavering faith. Know that supply is endless, that the universe is generous, that increase is your divine right. The moment you choose certainty, you shift the tide. Doors open, paths clear, resources appear. Money responds. It has no choice, for the law is sure. Money is drawn to certainty. Multiplication begins with faith. Faith is the invisible seed that transforms what is small into what is great, what is limited into what is unlimited, what is seen into what is beyond sight. Without faith, everything remains at the level of appearance. A handful stays a handful, a coin remains a coin, and the seed remains just a seed. But with faith, the handful becomes a harvest, the coin becomes a stream of wealth, and the seed bursts into a mighty tree. Faith is the multiplier, the unseen power that draws increase from the invisible to the visible. Most people look at what they have in their hands and judge it by appearance. They see little and they believe it is little. They see lack and they believe in lack. They hold a small amount of money and they say, this is not enough. And so, by their words and their belief, they bind it to limitation. But those who understand the law of life know that everything visible is only the surface. What is visible is not the source, it is the result. The source lies in the unseen, in the great reservoir of supply that never runs dry. Faith connects you to that reservoir. Faith transforms what you hold in your hand into a magnet for the infinite. When you hold money and speak to it with faith, you are not speaking to paper and ink. You are speaking to the idea of abundance, the living energy behind the symbol. You are affirming that what you see is not all there is. You are declaring that increase flows from an invisible source that cannot be exhausted. You are multiplying it, not by effort, but by belief. Faith speaks life into what seems lifeless. Faith adds increase to what seems small. Faith turns a little into more than enough. The multiplication of anything begins not with the object, but with the consciousness of the one who holds it. Two people may hold the same amount of money. One may hold it with fear, clutching it tightly, worrying about its departure, doubting its return. That person sends out vibrations of lack and draws more lack. The other may hold it with gratitude, blessing it, affirming its multiplication, trusting that supply is endless. That person sends out vibrations of increase and draws more increase. The same money, yet two different outcomes, because one believes in scarcity and the other believes in abundance. Faith is the difference. Faith is the multiplying power. Think of the farmer. He does not look at one seed and complain that it is too small. He does not hold a single seed and cry, this will never feed me, this will never be enough. Instead, he plants it with faith. He knows that the seed holds within it the law of multiplication. He believes that one will become many, and because he believes, he acts accordingly. He plants the seed in the ground, waters it, and waits with certainty for the harvest. And without fail, the harvest comes. That is the power of faith. It turns one into many, the small into the abundant. Money responds in the same way. When you hold it and speak words of faith, you are planting it in the soil of abundance. You are saying to it, multiply, grow, return to me in greater measure. You are giving it the energy of increase. And just as the seed responds to the soil and the season, money responds to faith. It finds its way back to you multiplied, through opportunities, through unexpected channels, through open doors you could not have imagined. Faith sets multiplication in motion. Fear, on the other hand, halts multiplication. Fear digs up the seed before it can grow. Fear says, what if nothing happens? What if I lose it all? What if this is the last I will ever see? Fear closes the channel, blocks the flow, and keeps increase away. Faith opens the channel, keeps the flow, and draws increase near. That is why you must always choose faith over fear. Even when appearances suggest lack, speak words of abundance. Even when the hand feels empty, affirm fullness. Even when the wallet seems small, declare multiplication. The words you speak and the faith you hold create the reality you experience. To multiply money, to multiply health, to multiply joy, you must first multiply faith. Faith is the currency of the unseen world. Faith spends in the invisible where the real transactions take place. What you believe is what you receive. If you believe in loss, you experience loss. If you believe in increase, you experience increase. Faith draws to you the very thing you expect. Life mirrors belief. The outer reflects the inner. The visible responds to the invisible. Multiplication begins with faith because faith is the soil where the harvest is born. Let us imagine holding a small amount of money in your hand. At first glance, it may seem insignificant. But instead of saying, "This is too little," close your eyes and speak words of faith. Say, "You are blessed. You are growing. You are multiplying. You are attracting more of your kind. You are returning to me in ever-increasing measure." Say it not as a hope but as a certainty. Feel the truth of it. Believe that money is not running away from you. It is running toward you. Believe that supply is not shrinking, it is expanding. Believe that what you hold is not the end, it is the beginning. With that belief, you transform the small into the seed of great multiplication. Faith also requires joy. The farmer does not sow with sorrow, he sows with expectation of gladness. In the same way, when you bless money and declare its multiplication, do not do it with heaviness or doubt, do it with joy. Rejoice in the invisible harvest even before you see it. Celebrate the increase before it arrives. Joyful faith accelerates manifestation. When you are happy in expectation, you align with the energy of abundance. Another truth is this: multiplication is not always immediate. Just as the seed does not sprout overnight, increase sometimes takes time to appear. But faith holds steady. Faith does not dig up the soil to check on the seed. Faith trusts that what is planted is growing, even when unseen. Faith keeps speaking life, keeps blessing, keeps affirming, until the harvest appears. Impatience weakens faith, but patience strengthens it. Multiplication is certain for the one who believes without wavering. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not look down upon what seems little. Every great fortune begins with a small seed. Every harvest begins with a single seed planted. The small is only the doorway to the great. If you bless the small with faith, it will become the great. If you curse the small with doubt, it will remain small. Faith transforms beginnings into blessings. Every time you spend money, release it with faith. Do not say, "There it goes, and it may never return." Say instead, "I bless this money and send it forth to multiply. It returns to me multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Speak as though the increase is already yours. Speak as though money is your loyal servant, eager to come back with friends. What you speak in faith, you will see in fact. Remember that money is not your source. The universe, the infinite supply, is your source. Money is only a channel, a vehicle, a symbol. When one channel seems blocked, faith knows that another will open. Faith does not cling to a single door. Faith trusts that doors are limitless. Multiplication does not depend on one person, one job, or one opportunity. It depends on the law of supply, and that law is infinite. Faith aligns you with that law. The invisible always precedes the visible. The root always comes before the fruit. Faith operates in the invisible first, planting seeds in the unseen. Then in time those seeds manifest in the seen. That is why you must never be discouraged by appearances. The invisible is more real than the visible, for it is the cause of the visible. Hold your faith in the invisible, and the visible will change to match it. Multiplication is natural. Look at nature itself. One apple seed produces a tree, and that tree produces thousands of apples, each with more seeds. One drop of water can form into rivers, oceans, clouds, and rain. One idea can become an invention that changes the world. Multiplication is the law of life, but it requires faith to activate it in your own life. If you believe only in what you see, you stop the flow. If you believe in what you do not yet see, you open the flow. Faith does not calculate. Faith does not ask, "How could this be?" Faith simply knows it will be. Faith is not concerned with methods, only with results. The method belongs to the universe, the result belongs to faith. You may not know how money will return, through what channel or what means, but faith does not need to know. Faith trusts that it will return, multiplied, and it always does. When you live by faith, money becomes your servant, not your master. It follows your words, responds to your beliefs, and aligns with your vibration. You no longer chase it, it chases you. You no longer fear losing it, you know it multiplies. You no longer struggle to find it, you know it finds you. Faith makes you the master of money, because faith connects you to the master supply. So hold money in your hand today, whether it be large or small, and speak words of faith. Say to it, "You are multiplying. You are increasing. You are flowing back to me in abundance." Say it with joy, say it with gratitude, say it with certainty. Release every fear, every doubt, every thought of lack. Replace them with faith, expectation, and love. Believe that what you say is already done, and you will see it done. Multiplication begins with faith. It begins in the unseen, in the belief of the heart, in the words of the mouth, in the certainty of the spirit. Without faith, there is stagnation. With faith there is increase. Faith turns the little into plenty, the seed into harvest, the small into abundance. Faith is the key to multiplication, the foundation of prosperity, the doorway to endless supply. And so, remember this truth wherever you go: faith does not wait to see, it knows before it sees. Faith does not beg, it commands. Faith does not shrink, it expands. Faith does not calculate, it creates. Multiplication begins with faith, and with faith it never ends.